Welcome back to episode 90 of the Zero Check podcast. My name is Mike. I'm happy to be here with you today, fellas, very much. Episode 91. Can you believe we've made it to 91?
You just said episode 90 and 91 in the same.
Oh, I did?
Right. Yep.
Did I get it wrong?
Twice.
Is it 91 or 92?
It's 91.
91. We just released 90.
As episode 91, this marks the 30th episode where Donnie has played Ogjulinus and Tompton.
Hey!
Wow.
Congratulations.
30th, you said?
Exactly.
This is Ogjulinus and Tompton's 30th episode because he joined in episode 61. Remember, you found him
so
on
I
that
feel like
dock?
Ogjulinus and Tompton now has just showed his fellow soldier the picture of his girl back home right before they go into battle. It may not end out great for him.
25 of those 30 were kingdom turns and downtime. So,
or him trying to retch. I believe was a big
He was
portion of it.
retching for a few of those episodes. Yeah, no, I was thinking this through a little bit because at first I was like, every one of Donnie's characters has had 30 episodes, but actually that's not totally true. You might recall Bashk Trand left the game in episode 30. So that's 30 episodes. Kritala joined in 31 and left in 60. That was only 29 episodes.
He's overdue, is what we're saying.
Yep. Well, I think if he makes it through this episode, he will be your longest character now that you've had.
It's true.
That's
31.
valid.
Yeah.
But things seem to happen in multiples of 30 around here, or multiples of 5.
they
I don't know what I'm
have
trying
to. They don't have to, though. Like, that's just
they-
in your head.
They don't. Yeah, but today we're just having a feast for Ekundayo, so I danger levels I think are pretty low. I'm sure nothing weird will happen during today's feast.
Mitch locks himself in his room.
What is
Suddenly-
that? That's that Will.
It's a Final Destination, right?
Yeah, I know. And there's a gas leak, and it somehow kills him.
There's Final Destination, but I was also thinking of that Will Ferrell movie, Stranger Than Fiction. You know, where
That was a good movie. That was actually a really good movie.
Hear the narrator, yeah.
Yeah. The narrator's writing the book about him. She keeps trying to get him to leave his house. He won't do it. It's going to be like Mitch. Your house is going to fall in on itself to get you to come out to the feast. So I've been reading the module about this a little bit, and it's occurred to me that I can't point to any of you guys as the party planner, either in character or out, except for maybe Bill. I think Bill can put together a pretty good hootenanny.
We're gonna have multiple courses throughout the day, starting with nice appetizers, some salads, maybe some charcuterie boards laid out on the tables.
Ooh.
Then like a soup course with some bread. You know, then appetizers, a nice light pre-meal, then the meal, then the pre-dessert, then the dessert, and then the after dinner drinks.
Oh my God.
Good Lord.
It's like a whole day thing.
It starts at 10 a.m., Chris. We got to get going. Gotta get going.
Oh my gosh. This takes place maybe in the center square of your little village, which I think is maybe now a town. I mean, there's just a lot of growth that's happening. I have to tell you, you're beginning to see the signs of a population boom because of the silver mine. The Synchrodoodle caverns are chock full of humans and kobolds now. There's a lot of trade happening between the two communities. Cree Tower, such as it is, now exists, and maybe there's some kind of movement and travel happening there. And there's word that you control a gold mine as well. At least not yet, but it's where it is. Or I'm just assuming maybe you've televised this. I'm not sure, but what I'm trying to tell you is that there's a bit of a population boom. There's people that you don't know, that you don't recognize, that are all around, but they know you, and it's pretty cool. So this thing is well attended, okay, is what I'm trying to tell you. And there's people everywhere. And at the center of all of this is a very dour Ekundayo, who is just not really seeming to feel this right now, I guess. He says, "Thank you, but you have to understand I don't like surprise parties.
It's your party. You can cry if you want to.
Nobody asked me if this is what I wanted. You guys just did it. Don't you guys love it how I tell you guys to do this and then I make Ekundayo shit all over it?
Right. Yep. Mitch brings out a troll pinata to try to cheer him up.
It's like, you made me laugh. Good job. You did. You got me. He's beating on it. This does help me.
Just crying.
A little bit. He's smashing it as he beats on it.
Sorry.
Oh my God. Og, Julianus, and Tomton, what is your contribution to Ekundayo's feast?
I think Og would bring in string and tell Ekundayo, if you tie this around your finger, you won't forget things. Like the most important thing that drives your entire purpose in life, at the moment that you need to do it, that little string will help remind you.
You're,
a string.
of course, referencing.
I am referencing the fact. Yes.
My failure to have Ekundayo ask Hargulko where Gragglebeard is.
That would be because I believe that's why he's bummed out, maybe too, right?
That's why he's bummed out. Yeah. He feels a little stupid.
So I think the string will maybe help just be a little tickler next time. He's like, "Oh, I have a question for you."
Well, he takes this ribbing in stride, much like I'm attempting to do right now.
Og is very sincere. He's not mean this maliciously at all. Donnie does. But Og is being very sincere that this is a present to help.
You know, there's a mini game with this feast, which I'm thinking about running for you guys right now. Donnie, roll a diplomacy check or another check to symbolize your gift of the remembrance string.
I think this works out at trained diplomacy, so not great. Let's see what we get. Not bad. Natural 14 for a total of 22.
Hell yeah. I like that.
Who just earned a victory point for the feast?
For the feast.
Mini Julianus and Tomton did.
Ekundayo looks down at his fingers like, I owe you a victory point. That reminded me. See, it already came in handy.
Do you think he's got a little ledger? He goes,
I think so. Yes.
Drycole May, you're cooking the brats right now. I assume. Are you the grillman? Or are you behind the grill?
No, yes. Well, no. I'm the party organizer. I'm shaking hands, kissing babies.
You're a greeter.
I'm a host, Mike. I'm a host.
I'm sorry. You're a host.
Jesus.
Okay, all right.
It's got a little blue vest
The
on.
greeters wear the blue vests.
I'm a host. I'm hosting.
Welcome to Forkshand.
Who have you assigned as greeters?
Mitch.
Mitch agreed.
Mitch is a greeter. We'll get a greeting check.
The greeting check.
Yeah. Fucking Brad, roll a greeting check.
God damn it. Oh, what is that, a diplomacy or is that a performance?
Sure. It's a performance or a diplomacy, whatever.
Well, you gotta call it. There's a big difference between the two. I'm not gonna tell you what it is.
Would Mitch be relying on his social skills, or would he be pretending while doing this?
I think he's announcing people when they come in.
Yeah.
And very stylishly.
Like Dwight Schrute?
Yeah, there you go.
Mr. Jim Halpert.
All right, we'll do performance.
Okay, come on, man.
That is a natural 17, so that is a 17.
There you go.
Well, all right. I can't give you a victory point for that, but at least it's not, you don't lose a victory point. That could have been a crit fail pretty easy.
If we fail, this is like, he gonna just like go and disappear in the woods, or what's
Who can know? Who can know? No, it's not fair for me to make you do a performance check. So I will credit your natural 17. You can move that to a different skill.
So we could just do diplomacy, that'd be 25.
You get a victory point. Hey, all right, for the feast.
Everybody look, it's Oleg and Svetlana. Everybody?
Hey, guys.
And there's like nobody around. They're just like, we're kind of
Hey,
we're at
guys.
the front gate and everyone else is
Oleg's
probably 50
hobbling and
away.
Oleg's like, I came as soon as I heard that we were having a party for Ekundayo. He says, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing here? I couldn't, but he's ambling in. He's got a crutch.
Did Svetlana bring pie? Did she bring her apple pie?
Yeah, where's your pies?
Oh, yeah, she brought rhubarb pie.
rhubarb pie,
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I can't
Here,
go
I'll
with
carry
that.
those pies for you. Bring them over to the table.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, it's okay. She says, they tell you that there are some settlers that seem to be moving in and around his general store.
Oh.
As more people are traveling the stolen lands, it's become safer. And Oleg's trade post has become a magnet for settlers who may be trying to migrate to Shrikehaven.
Oh.
But then they arrive at Oleg's on the way and they stay there. There's becoming a concentration of people there. is what I'm trying to tell you. And then he goes and starts eating the pie. And Svetlana like takes it away from him, and she's like, "This is for everybody." And he's like, "Oh, I want my pie." That's what he says. Okay.
Wow.
Why can't he have any pie?
Well, he can have a piece. He just can't eat the whole thing.
Well, he's not eating the whole thing. He's just having a little bite out of the corner.
Does Oleg not know about moderation?
He's eating from the pie. The pie
He sat
pan.
down with a fork in the pie, didn't he? He didn't.
Yeah, he had a. Yeah, he dipped the fork down in, and what Svetlana does, she takes it from him. She cuts out a piece around his bite he took, and then gives that to him.
Let him eat his pie. You remember what he did to the bandits? He deserves that pie.
This is way too specific, Mike.
What, do you think this has happened to me? You think I'm drawing on my own personal experiences for this? No, it just popped into my head somehow. Okay. So she takes the pie, she puts it over on the table with the rest of the stuff, and then she sits down dutifully next to him.
Hey, everybody, look, it's Knock Knock.
No, okay. Knock Knock's like, he walks in, he goes, "The fuck is this?"
Bro, language.
What the hell's going on? Why are all these fucking people around?
There's a party for that mopey dude over there.
Are they here for me?
Nope. Are you going to behave?
Reasonably.
Yeah, definitely point him in the direction of the actual food and not the trash cans.
He sits down next to Blazing Jake, and they become friends.
No.
And then by the end of this, you see that Knock Knock is trying on Juggalo makeup.
Oh, come on.
Another woman walks in. She is not someone you've ever seen before, Mitch. She is muscular. She is relatively short. She's a human. She's got curly, dark hair. She's got dark skin. Very beautiful. What?
Hey, ma'am, you're supposed to meet behind the bar with the rest of them.
Oh, it's just you got people hiding behind the bar.
The talent.
It's the talent.
Ekundayo pipes up. He's like, "I specifically asked for no strippers. Nobody listens to me." And as he's talking to you, he sees this woman, and he stops in his tracks. He knows her. She walks over to him. He walks over to her.
Did they kiss? Did she slap him?
No, they do not. In fact, she goes in for the hug, and he interrupts with the handshake.
Ooh.
That's cold.
And he shakes her hand.
That's rough.
And she goes, "Ikun, I'd heard you'd landed here. It's good to see you again." And he goes, "You too, Natavi." And then he looks for a moment like he's seen a ghost. And he looks down for a moment and then looks up at her and makes eye contact. And he says, "I didn't know you'd survived Bristle Hill." And she says, "I did." And then he puts his hand on her shoulder and he leads her off to sort of a secluded part of the party. And you watch as the two begin speaking with each other.
Don't be listening.
Og goes, "I can read lips." And it looks like...
You can?
Yeah, she's going, "What happened to the troll?" And Ekundayo goes, "Well, I had an opportunity to ask, but I totally forgot." And Og's like, "But after that, I couldn't tell what else they said. But I saw that part."
So you're observing them?
Og's watching. Yeah. Og's looking over
Make
it.
roll a perception check.
I'll do that. 25.
Here's the first thing that you observe. They're over there talking. Can you really read lips? Is that like a language you have
he can't,
or something?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, then you don't read this, but you overhear her tell him, the wind picks it up just right, or not the wind, or just something how, you can kind of hear sounds on the wind sometimes. She says, "Vengeance won't set things right with the past, Ikun, but it surely sets things right with the present." And he's nodding somberly. You hear her ask Ikun if his wife, Amanda, survived the attack on Bristle Hill. And Ikun shakes his head. And Og, you catch it. Natavi is not that disappointed that Amanda is no longer in the picture.
Got some tea to spill. No, I think Og is absolutely like elbowing. I mean, like, hey, what's going on here? And hey, his wife had the most normal sounding name I've ever heard. Amanda. It's such a weird name in this world. Like, what kind of name is that? It's so out of the ordinary.
Let me make sure. Is that her name? Amanda? I think her name is Amanda. I think it is. Let me look.
It's probably
just make sure.
Pronounced Amanda.
Amanda, that's her name.
It's just like most normal. I'm on Galarian. That's everything. That's so foreign sounding. Where is that from?
Yeah, you can all this time his departed wife's name was Amanda. Huh. Well, go figure. He had a daughter too. I wonder if her name was like Brittany or something. I don't know.
Blake.
Fine. So, Og, the final thing I want to tell you about Natavi is that she's armed. Like, she arrived with a longbow and with a warhammer and armor. Like, she's here. I got some art for you guys.
We just let her
Really?
roll in.
Yeah.
Wait,
like-
open carry.
Maybe throw a
No
metal
swords,
detector
no
up.
bows. Leave your weapons at the door.
No blades,
You
no bows.
guys are this party is open carry. Sirio, what have you done to contribute to this party? It's your time, man. This is all kind of going on. I feel like you're attending to other subjects, though, or are you tuned in to this Natavi thing?
I'm taking part in the celebrations, eating all the food, drinking all the drinks.
And tries making it a point to introduce all the important people and Chris and get them all in the same area. The movers and shakers, get them all together so Chris can work deals, shake hands. It's a networking event more than it is for Ekundayo.
All right, man. Roll a check to work some deals there, King Surtova.
Making deals. Oh, I rolled an 18 plus 12, 30. Ooh. I assume that was diplomacy.
Sure. You get a victory point. All right, that's 4 victory points. Let's see. Ekundayo is enjoying the event.
Aw.
But he's talking. It's basically he's just talking to Natavi, and I mean, she's another. You are under the impression that nobody survived Bristle Hill except for Ekundayo.
It makes you beg the question of, like, did he just leave her there and run away? What's up with Ekundayo?
Do you go and ask?
Mitch will go introduce himself. Mitch will walk up there.
course he
Hey,
will.
I'm Mitch.
You got your little
Fucking
greeter.
wet towel.
My name is
You got
Mitch.
your little blue greeter vest on.
Yeah, it's got my name tag on it, but I still feel the need to tell her. My name
He
is
says,
Mitch.
"Oh, yes, hello,
And your name?
Natavi of Bristle Hill. Formerly of Bristle Hill."
Wait, I thought everyone was dead there.
She looks at Ikun and she says, "Well, Ikun wasn't home when it happened. I was overlooked during the attack. Woke up to find the village in disarray. Naturally, I ran. I only heard recently that Ikun was here. I thought him dead." And Ikun's like, "And I thought Natavi was dead. You see how that happened now. I didn't know that she'd survived, and she didn't know that I'd survived, and so we didn't know about each other. But now we do."
Okay.
I just want to put this out there that the way we act towards other people, the first time we meet
guys are
somebody from another,
psychopaths.
the first time we meet somebody from another kingdom, we will be at war.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys are psychos.
Are you staying for a while? Are you here for a while? Where are you headed to?
Mitch, go bring her a drink.
I wave down there's a person that's walking by. Wave him down with some beers.
Are you trying to get to know Natavi a little bit?
I want to see if she's like, just
Make a diplomacy check.
Can the rest of us see what Mitch is doing?
Hell yeah. You see him over there with his little vest on talking to her.
talking with my hands. I'm a hand
Yeah.
talker.
Yeah, you're talking with your hands.
Oh, that's, you want a diplomacy? Mm-hmm. What does an 11 get me?
Dry's going to walk up behind Mitchell and point to the door.
Does Dry kind
Go
of wave
back.
me off? Yeah, go. Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go.
I'm just going to walk up
Greet
and tap
some
him and like
people.
point to the door. Look, you have one job. One.
Mitch, you start talking about the weather or something.
Yep.
And
Or a rash.
Or a rash.
Mitch picked up his lady skills from the deuce before he died.
yeah, you ask Ikun how his rash is doing.
Right.
And Natavi's eyes are pleading with you to leave.
Anywho, there's a few people walking in. I'm gonna go greet them. Have a nice day.
And then you're like, then I picture you walk over and you're like, God, I'm trying to think of an NPC name. You're
Valerie.
Valerie. Oh yeah, Valerie's here. Sure. Yeah, Valerie walks in. Nice, Bill. Valerie comes in. Yeah, Valerie's here. Fuck it.
What the fuck are you doing here?
She's
Traitor?
yeah, sure, Valerie's here. Who
Who
gives a
put
shit?
Valerie in as their +1? This is bullshit.
She wasn't invited.
Actually, I don't care. I'm going to walk up to Valerie and say hello. Shake her hand and then walk away.
She's here. She's here to party on. She knows Ekun. Of course, Valerie's here. All right. So you're like, Valerie Bedelia, you say. And there she is. Okay, fine. So you're dealing with that mess now. The day goes on. Valerie's here. Let's talk with Valerie a little bit. What do you guys want? Valerie's like, hello. She's taking up smoking again. Hello. It's nice to be back. I just came to say hi to Ekun. And then she looks over at him and Tavi, and she's like, but I might try to catch him tomorrow. This is weird. And then she's like, I'll just take my leave. And then she sees Sirio working deals over on the other end of the party. She's walking toward him. What do you guys do? Mitch and Dry, you're here for this.
Shadow.
Stand there. I'm just going to stand there and look at her. None of us have weapons, so
Oh,
Yeah, that's right. You guys are just hanging out.
yeah.
Hang on. Valerie's not armed.
And I have my necklace of daggers on, so
You've got you got your dagger necklace on.
And the stag helm.
And the stag helm. Yeah, you're wearing your stag
I
helm.
am not wearing the fucking stag. I don't wear that thing when we're out adventuring. What do you think? Wear it here.
Valerie approaches you, King Surtova, and like people clear out. And she just goes, I've thought a lot about what to say to you since I left. You have my respect and my apologies. And she simply turns around to walk away. Oh God, I always do that with Valerie.
Just leaves again. Yep. Wow.
Let me try
No
that again.
surprise
That's not what she does. And she stands for a moment and looks at you. You can tell her inclination was to turn and leave, having said what she wanted to say. But she rethinks it in the last moment, and instead, she stands before you, King.
I'm trying to remember back if it was a public spectacle of Valerie
I think it was private.
It was private. It was
Oh
private.
God, I
between us.
thought he was going to
It was
say.
us and Val.
In serious, I'm trying to remember who you are.
And your name?
And he looked familiar.
Valerie Bedelia. I'm glad you're here. Glad that you've seen the mistake you've made and that you're apologizing for it. I'm not sure what you're planning on gaining from this, but if you do wish to serve, you would have to start as a private and work your way up.
She looks at you for a long moment, not having expected this, and she kneels and she says, I will follow you. And she rises. You know, I don't think we've talked about this before, but Valerie is like 6'1". Like she's tall, and she stands before you and is more inflated than she was a moment ago. And she asks you, what can I do?
I have a mission. And you've come here to apologize and also see Ekundayo. This mission also involves Ekundayo. I don't know if you've heard, but we've encountered the Troll King Hargulka. And right before we were able to take him down, we took over his stronghold, but he escaped to the south. I need you and Ekundayo to track him, find out where he went, and what his plans are. If he's regrouping, if he's recruiting other races and monsters and baddies to his cause, we need to know about it.
It will be done. And you watch her approach Ekundayo and Natavi, and then you watch her raise her eyebrows and walk away from them. Like, whoa. And gives them a little bit of space.
Did we, but we saw her apologize to the king, right?
Yeah, I assume.
Right.
Yeah, she knelt down. It's not like public in a throne room hall type of thing, but people definitely saw, I'm sure.
Dry's going to see her standing on the outskirts and bring her a beer and a plate of food because he saw her apologize. He's going to keep, and then he's not going to say anything. He's just going to walk away. Always the good host.
I have to pull up my guy, see how tall I am.
Yeah, are you 6'1"?
I'm 5'11".
I don't think he is.
She's a little taller.
She's a little taller than me.
Hopefully she's smart enough to stoop a little bit when she's talking to you.
Bring the royal box.
Royal box.
This is not how I expected the game to go tonight.
I just want to see Knock Knock jump out of the cake in a troll costume.
Oh, that's happening for sure.
I think
Yes.
Knock Knock should get in a fight with with somebody else.
Oh, you know what'd be fun?
He's going to get shit faces.
Like Knock Knock and
Start drinking Fago.
Knock Knock, Blaze and Jake. They should be like, in honor of Ekundayo, we're gonna recreate the Battle of Bristle Hill. And like they just show they don't get it. They're like, oh no, this is a nice thing we're doing.
This is
And
a
they're
great
showing
idea.
People being slaughtered in their sleep and
Oh my God. Is it like done in like a Juggalo WWE
oh yeah, it's over the
kind
top.
of style?
Absolutely. There's
my gosh.
trolls, like little trolls jumping off of stuff onto people, and yeah.
At the end of the spectacle, Ekundayo's like, he goes, that was incredibly offensive.
How did we get stuck with Knock Knock?
It's a hell of an act. What do you call it?
We get stuck with Blaze and Jay.
him. We saved them both.
We
did.
We know how we got stuck with Blaze and Jay. You shoved him in our party.
I did do that. And look what he's brought us.
Pain
Well-
and misery.
So Dry Colmay and Valerie are sitting side by side watching this unbelievably horrible fucking thing. And Valerie looks at Dry Colmay and she goes, I have admirers. Did you know this?
No, I did not.
Well, I do.
Who are they?
Many men.
Many men.
Many men admire me, she says.
Well, you're a comely lass.
Wait, what?
Comely. Comely means pretty.
That's the opposite.
Okay. All right. You say that to her. I guess. And she goes, let me start over. I received a gift from an admirer, which I will pass along as I have no interest. And she produces from her pocket a colorful silken handkerchief that immediately, as it's exposed to the air around you, Dry Colmay, it exudes a pleasant floral scent. As she turns it over into her hand, a dozen vibrantly colored long-stemmed flowers appear in her hand, the stems wrapped perfectly with pieces of silk. And she's like, look at this thing. And it's like this handkerchief, and she kind of like it's like a magician's handkerchief bouquet thing.
Yeah.
Valerie doesn't want that.
She does not want this. Yeah, thank you.
I feel like Knock Knock thinks that's for the performance. Like they brought him flowers.
Knock Knock runs up, and he goes, "For me."
Dry Colmay is
And
going to put
Valor-
his hand on his head and push him backwards and say no.
he jolts backwards. He runs off, and Blaze and Jake's like, "Oh man, I thought that was for you." And this is a 7th level abjuration magical item called the Admirer's Bouquet. Okay, once per minute, you can activate this item while holding it in your hands with a single action. The effect, by taking a deep sniff of the pleasant smelling flowers, you can speed your recovery from nausea and you can reduce your sickened value by 1 by smelling the bouquet.
God, Dry's going to be like, is this for me?
Hang on, because there's more to this fucking thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The Admirer's Bouquet. Oh, but when you say, is this for me? She shrugs and she goes, it's for the coffers. You can also once per hour react if you're holding this in your hand. The trigger that causes the opportunity to react is that an ally with a free hand ends their turn adjacent to you. You can react by handing the bouquet to the triggering ally. If they accept the bouquet, they gain a +1 item bonus to saves against emotion and mental effects as long as they continue to carry the admirer's bouquet. If they're currently suffering from a debilitating emotion or mental effect as the result of a saving throw made during the previous turn, they can immediately attempt a new saving throw against that effect upon being given the bouquet. If they do so, they gain the admirer's bouquet +1 item bonus to the saving throw. So basically, you can hand it off to an ally to give them a new check against like an emotion effect or a mental effect or like a fear.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So basically, your buddy starts crying. You reach in your back pocket, grab a hanky, and hand it to him. Right? I mean, that's essentially what you're doing.
Yes. And then it becomes flowers in their hands, and then they feel better. And that's the admirer's bouquet. This is a specific Kingmaker item tied to Valerie that you receive from her if she's in your party and other certain requirements are met.
Can she give it to somebody else? Because we all know how much Dry uses his magic equipment.
That's why I asked if it was for me. I would never use it, but I would remember when Donnie's throwing up in a corner somewhere. I'd just be like, hey, take this.
I keep thinking of Ogjulinus and Tompton with his dancing scarf and with his other accoutrement. And and the fact that he retches all the time because he's always sickened in here.
That was my thought. That's why I was like, is this for me? Because I was just going to put it in my pocket till Donnie needed it again.
So we've never talked about this, but Og wears a little vest and he's got a little pocket. And so he can use this as a pocket square to go.
There it is.
Perfect.
Oh my God.
Very dandy.
That is the most adorable thing I've ever heard in my life.
Dry is going to thank Valerie for the gift. And then he's going to tap her on the shoulder and he's going to be like, I'm going to talk to the king about your position. There's no need for you to start as a private. And then he's going to walk away. Dry being who he is, recognizes the value that Valerie has, even though she fucked up. Wow. I don't think starting her as a private.
So just being around her, you want to question the king's authority. What now, too?
Wow.
Whoa,
yes.
whoa.
It's spreading.
Right. Yes. I can, but see, I have the relationship with Cyril where I can talk to him about it. He can say no. I just recognize the value of somebody. That's why you're at the door and I'm hosting the party.
I just hope one day we don't have to airbrush pictures to dry out because Cyril was like, I don't remember that person. And he shouldn't be in pictures.
Now we're talking about important things, and I want to get back to this, but I need to know what the pocket square looks like.
It looks like a little flower. Come on, man.
Oh, he's got a little flower pocket square.
Yeah.
Admirer's bouquet. This is a 7th level item. It is rare, and it is worth 350 gold pieces.
I'm selling this shit.
Fuck it. Reverse engineer it. Destroy it. Learn the pattern.
I got it for 320 gold. I'll wear it in the party because it looks nice, but I think we would sell it, honestly.
Really? Don't sell the pocket square.
I think Julius Thompson
You get sick
needs
all the
it.
time.
Yeah.
Maybe she also
Spent a whole fight throwing up.
Does she also find an envelope full of 320 gold that she can give us, and then we'll hold on to it? No.
We don't need gold, Donnie. We're almost rich.
Almost.
Chris is the king.
Yeah,
Chris can just print money.
All right,
We're
perfect.
fine.
You're only going to have it for like another episode or two.
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly. My next character will have to figure it out anyway.
We got a silver mine working. We're fine.
What are we forgetting? Has everyone gotten a chance to have fun at the party together? I think
I've been
so,
working
right?
the whole time, but I'm fine with it.
Okay, everyone, Dry, you serving up the brats? Everyone gets bratwurst now?
I don't know where you get brats from, bro.
There's no brats.
I don't know.
We're having
Probably-
roast beast.
Yeah.
We're having stuffed quail.
Okay.
Who has brats at a feast?
You want brats, you head over to Fort Drayliff.
right.
don't have that shit here.
You want brats, you go to Hoots.
Yep.
Over there at the Snickerdoodle Cavern.
They
you
got
get some brats.
Hodag brats.
We're having a feast over here, Mike.
God.
We have-
All right. Well, I think the feast is winding down. Okay.
Try's
The
going to pull
feast-
out the ancient bottle of Jägermeister and put it on the bar.
Oh my God.
That ends any party.
Lindsay's over there. She's playing. Okay. Lindsay's playing. Okay. You feel a tap on your shoulder, and you look, and eye level with you. I'm sorry. Did you just gasp?
Don't give me maybe jump. Oh.
You're immediately crestfallen at having jumped at this tap because you look and it's Jubilost Narthropple.
Oh, Jubilost, you complete jackass. What do you want?
Is that what you say to him?
Yes.
Jubilost, you complete jackass.
What do you want? Yes.
He goes, his mouth is open as if he was going to begin talking to you, and then he stops and he swallows, and you can see his like Adam's apple like catching his throat a little bit for a moment because he's so fucking aghast that you just said that to him. And he continues for a moment and he's like, "You're the only one I can come to about this, and I'm beginning to think this was a mistake. Will you just listen to me for a moment, Og, Julius, and Tompton?"
You know what, Nomi? You just lay it on me.
You said, okay, you called him Nomi?
Nomi, yeah.
Lay it on me.
My
Nomi.
Nomi.
No nomies.
"You're brilliant, but weird," he says to you. And he goes, "I need to talk to you about something. I need your advice. Please come with me to my appraiser's office, I guess, or wherever he works. Come with me to my office."
You're using your serious voice, so we should let's go right now.
You follow him into the keep, down a hallway or two, to where he set up shop, where Kritala had his office. I mean, it's the treasurer's office. You look around, and there's still some nails in the wall, where Kritala had hung up shit, and
Pictures of
like,
himself.
Yeah.
Signed.
And Jubilost has taken these things down, but the nails have been left, and he's not pulled out anything of his no personal effects of his are up on the wall. You don't know why that might be, but it's just a very blank office.
Yeah,
And he
Jubilost,
puts on.
I gotta say, your decorating, it really matches your personality. This is exactly what I would picture.
Good Lord. I know. He waves you off. He's all business now. He's like, "I know, I'm busy." He puts on the little green accountant visor. Yeah. And he says, "I think I found the source of the shortfall. I've got a duty to report this. But I wanted to come to you first and share what I know, because maybe we could handle this with some measure of finesse. We can't withhold anything from the king. You understand, I have a fiduciary duty."
Douche.
But I have a fiduciary duty, he says.
Of course. No, I would never ask for you to compromise your whatever morals you may have. I would not ask you to compromise those.
Thank you. You must understand it is my intent to disclose this information to him as soon as we have investigated it. But I can't believe I'm saying this. I wish for you to join me in this investigation. I see you in that inner circle. I want you to provide your objective view and then join me in my report to the king.
I'd be more than happy to help. Who do you have a suspect in mind?
I believe the skimmer is Lindsay Clobo.
Don't. Suddenly 2 gnomes kick in a door and be like, "Where's our fucking money?"
She embezzled it all to release that single that bombed.
Oh my God.
She made way too many demo CDs.
Here's what he does. He says, "I've compiled what I'm calling a preliminary report. Understand that I've not confronted Ms. Clobo with this information. We've not heard her side of the story yet. Look here, I've identified these 7 dates over the last few months where the budget shortfall has occurred. One by one, you can see the numbers. They don't add up. The person that did this didn't take thoughtful steps to cover up his or her tracks. Just moving money in a creative way, I guess you could say. But look here, there's only one person associated with activity in the treasury on all of the dates over the past several months when the discrepancies have occurred. It's Lindsay."
So no, I think Og would he would thank him, like his like he's never been condescended to quite like this, and he's like, thank you very much for condescending the way that you did.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. You're smart too.
I used bigger words than I normally do, so I know you're right up there with me. But yeah, no. So he would like take this information and the dates, and say yes, we will go back and we need to talk to Lindsay. And I think he would. He says, let me go back and talk to the others and let them know what's going on. So yeah, I think Og comes back in and pulls everybody aside and says, hey, we don't want to name any names because we don't want to cast aspersions too early. Open ourselves up to libel lawsuits, and says, hey, we're going to do this investigation, and we're gonna look, and me and Jubilos we're on the case. Don't lose another second of sleep about it.
You two are working together.
I've learned he does rudimentary analysis quite well, and he's a little too proud of it. But he does the grunt work, and it makes him really happy. So it's a good pairing so far.
You look over, and like Jubilost is like staring daggers through Ogjulinus and Tomton, like 15 feet away, as you're like telling Mitch that this dude's an idiot. It's awesome. And Jubilost, he says, we shall begin first thing tomorrow morning. I suggest you get your sleep tonight. We have a lot of thinking to do tomorrow.
Oh my God. This guy.
It's the next morning. Okay? You guys go to sleep. Og, you get plenty of rest. Two situations begin to develop simultaneously. The first thing that happens is that Jubilost and Og at 8 a.m. begin talking to Lindsay Clobo. The second thing that happens at 8 a.m. is that Valerie requests to speak with Dry Colmay and the king immediately.
That's so early after a party.
Yeah, right.
Buzzkill.
That's so early.
I think that probably Og and Jubilost stayed up all night planning with. I know they got a good sleep, but that's probably just a couple hours from Gnomes, right?
Yeah.
So they kind of chilled out, and Og, I think, ended up sleeping on the floor. Like they're maybe starting to become friends. I don't know. Like I don't know. There's maybe a little bit of
spark of friendship between these two guys.
It's like a cop buddy movie now.
I'm ready. I want to do an investigation. I want to search for clues. I want to
get a raging clue.
Getting a raging clue. It's pointing this way.
Try's gonna walk up to the king's room. He's got one boot on. Wearing sweatpants. His hair's tousled. Just gonna kind of pound on the door and be like, "Yo, you awake?" Yeah, you just hear this the whole time. Hey.
I mean, it goes on for a good solid minute before I'm up, open the door, and yeah, Sirio is definitely not doing too hot this morning.
I'll be like, hey, hang on. Valerie wants to talk to us. You should get dressed.
Yeah, meet me at the chair in 15 minutes.
The king walks in. Valerie is there. She's armored and armed at this point, back in Shrikehaven colors. And she goes, King, there's been a development already in what you've asked me to do. Yesterday, at the end of the party, despite the unbelievable flirting that was happening between Natavi and Ekundayo, I advised them of your orders, that the three of us are to form a search party. But this morning, they have absconded the settlement together. They are gone. I wish to track them.
Yeah, and after I had tasked you with tracking Hargulka, I noticed you went over to speak with them. Did they say anything, or did they just kind of ignore you?
I delivered your orders. They acknowledged, and I moved on for the night.
Did you catch any kind of jelly dagger eyes from her?
Valerie rolled a natural 20 on her retroactive perception check. And she goes, yes, I think this Natavi is hiding something. And I am fear for Ikun.
I was thinking the same thing, actually.
Almost sounds like she may be hostile, may potentially have Ekundayo bewitched or something. Who knows? But it's 2 versus 1 if we send you alone. Might I and Dry accompany you?
Her eyes widen a little bit. She goes, certainly, my liege. I'm prepared to leave at your order.
And so, yeah, right now it's probably 8:15. I know we need to get on the road, but
Sirio and Dry just
I can't get out of town until 10.
Wow.
Stuck
That's too early.
Stuck
Coffee.
here till
Really
10.
good. Haven't had a bagel.
Stuck here till 10.
Donut shop's not even open yet.
I mean, we got to get provisions.
It's more about, prep.
Get ready. Dry's still hungover.
I got to make sure I have enough potion. Oh, I will, since the cat's kind of out of the bag with Valerie, I do bring up the Wolfsbane potion.
Nice.
Just to let her know.
She is elated at this news. We cut to Jubilost and Og Julianus and Tomton talking with Lindsay Clobo. Her eyes are welling with tears as the 2 of you guys take her through the evidence you have against her. And with the work that you've done, it is damning.
Did we do good cop, bad cop?
You're doing, yeah, sure. You can do good cop.
No,
bad
I'm
cop.
asking, did we? I assumed, I mean, is that how we broke her?
She immediately broke down and confessed.
Okay.
And here's what she tells you. It's true. She has been skimming money.
Why,
from the
Lindsay?
kingdom.
Why? If you needed something, just ask. Do you have a problem? Is it gambling?
problem.
Is it drugs? What is it, Lindsay? What is it?
She looks at you. She says, a printing press.
Oh, God damn it. A printing press?
It's worse.
That's all we
Jesus,
need.
why couldn't it be drugs? What are we going to do with you, Lindsay?
A printing press. She looks at you and she says, Bill, help me out. She goes, I don't know if you know this about her. I think maybe I've said it once very early on, but you know that Lindsay is from Patox, right? That's where she grew up.
Oh.
She's from Patox. And she hates Patox. I mean, that's why she left. But I'm realizing now that everyone from Patox might also have the same accent, which is hilarious.
Yes.
I don't know how many different voices I can do.
Maybe
this
she's
accent
just
in.
from South Patox. They just sound a little
Maybe
bit
she's from the south of Patox. Here's what she says, Bill. She says, I've always wanted to make this place better than Patox.
Well, ever since I've gotten here to Fort Trand, I wanted to make it just a little bit better than where I'm from.
I've always tried to encourage art and literacy in this kingdom where it's denied those in Patox.
I wanted to spread the written word and maybe some art. You know, we're not allowed to do that where I'm from. So I just want everybody around here to be able to enjoy it.
But we need an honest to goodness printing press.
But we needed one of them printing machines so I could get the papers out.
The paper's out.
But Lindsay, surely you know an honest printing press can't be stolen.
Well, I do know that. And don't call me Shirley. My name's Lindsay.
Fair
Nice.
point. Fair point.
It's nice. I researched it myself. I designed a truly impressive machine on par with those in Absalom.
I sat down and I figured out how to make one of the machines like they have up in Absalom, and it's just amazing. And I just needed a little bit of money so I can make it work.
She skimmed money here and there, using her considerable charm to do what she thought of as light borrowing.
How much in total are we talking about here?
Like it's like a resource die. It's like
A resource worth. Yeah.
Fellas, I was just taking a little bit here and there. I didn't think anybody would notice. It's for the greater good of the city. And I was just too embarrassed to ask you guys because you all's done so much for me. And I just didn't think anybody would catch it.
Jubilost Narthropple at this point. Lindsay, where is the money?
Where's the money?
Where
Where's the money?
is the printing press? If you return it, that might help you. At this point, she tells you that her plan has hit a snag. She spent the money. She ordered the components. She had them routed through Taldor into Patox. A friend of hers, a wizard, a man named Eobald, an ally of hers, who wants to himself to leave Patox. She arranged for him to collect the packages there and in a caravan have it all moved to Fort Trand. She said the whole endeavor would pay for itself in a month. Just think, a newspaper, I would have returned the funds and surprised you all with this. But Eobald and the caravan is missing. I expected them 4 days ago. They're not here. I don't know what to do.
Well, I think we need to go saddle up and go find us a printing press.
Man, that would be fantastic, fellas.
Jubilos looks at Lindsay and he goes, you understand you're finished after this, right?
I'll take my chances with the King Surtova, Mr. Jubilost. I don't even know you, and I don't like you.
Yep.
Lindsay, grab your loot and let's go grab Mitch and let's go get this printing press back.
And so it came to pass that Dry Colme, King Surtova, and Valerie Bedelia set off south, following the tracks of Ekundayo and Natavi. Whereas Mitch, who has not had a line yet today and is probably still asleep, whereas Mitch and Ogjulinus Tompton and Lindsay and Jubilost probably will set out in the steam engine, depending on what Brad wants to do, to the northwest to try to intercept Eobin's path from Patox. Split party, guys.
Yeah, I like how you
think?
did that to get us to split up.
Wow.
Do you like that?
What
Do you
could go
like?
wrong?
Maybe you guys probably talk to each other. Maybe you talk a little bit. I don't know. We'll figure that out next time.
Really good.